Hey everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my 2021 bookish goals for you guys. So I'm going to share the few goals that I have set up and how I'm planning on actually making these goals happen. I have my computer down here with all my goals written down, so yeah, let's just get into it. So the first goal is always my Goodreads goal, which I always set at 50 books. For me, this is like the perfect number. I was actually talking to my roommate about this last night. And 50 is enough that I feel very accomplished if I hit it, and I also know that it's achievable because I've reached it in the past few years. Like, I think the past 3 or 4 years that I've been keeping track, I've always hit at least 50 books. So I know it's something achievable, but it's also enough that I feel accomplished when I hit that goal. So my Goodreads goal is 50 books, and that way I don't feel stressed when I am trying to read that many, because if I were to set it for anything higher than 50, I would feel a little bit more stressed and like, oh, I need to make this goal, and it would make reading stressful for me, and that's not what I want to do with my life. So my Goodreads goal is set at 50, which is perfect for me. Next, my goal. I had this last year and maybe the year before, that is to read a V.E. Schwab book. And I just have never done it, mostly because I mentioned this in my 2020 goals when I wrapped them up video, but I tend to just make these goals and then forget about them. So I have taken steps already to make this goal happen. I have requested Our Dark Duet and The Savage Song. The Savage Song is the first one. I don't know why I said them backwards, but I've requested them from the library already, so then I will be able to have them and read them and accomplish that goal right away, which is good. The next two goals are rollovers from the last year that I try and do every year, but that is to read at least 10 new to me books that I own. So I own like 50 books that I haven't read, and I always want to actually be reading them as well. So I want to read at least 10 of them. And then my other goal that's rollover is to post the wrap up from the month before the 10th of the next month. That doesn't make much sense the way I said it, but so my January wrap-up would go up before February 10th. I always try and do that just to keep things fresh in my mind and just to have something to put out every month as well. So my next goal is to continue learning how to engage with the community. So recently I haven't been watching very many booktube videos. I just haven't wanted to, which is totally fine, but it's something that I also want to work on, is engaging with people and more so being in the community rather than just making videos for myself. I put on here commenting on videos and replying on Twitter, because those are the two biggest things that I think I can work on. Bookstagram, I'm not very good at taking Bookstagram pictures, so I tend to not be on there as much, but also commenting on people's Bookstagram pictures, because I know that I want that kind of engagement for my own channels, so then why would I not be giving that engagement to other channels? So making sure to comment on videos that I do watch, even if it's just oh, I loved this, or something simple like that. Or yeah, replying on Twitter when people start conversations, or just ask random things, or be oh, I love that book, that kind of thing. So just working on engaging more so with the community aspect of the book community. I feel like I haven't done that very well in past years, so I don't have a specific goal in mind for this, but just to make that a focus for this year, of just, especially after this last year, of realizing how important community is. Continuing to build that community in this online format would just be very helpful and beneficial, I feel like. So that's that goal. Then I have my next goal, which again is kind of broad, but it's to continue to read diversely. So I put in parentheses, making sure to read authors of color fantasy books. So I really haven't made this a priority. It is something that I enjoy doing, because all of the books that I've read by authors of color I've enjoyed, but it is something that I want to continue to actually officially make a priority, is to read more diversely, both in content and by authors of color. I don't have a specific goal in mind. I don't want to be oh, I have to read one fantasy book by an author of color per month, because then for me personally that's going to make it too much of a chore and then I'm not going to want to do it. But just making sure that the books that I'm picking up are written diversely and are about diverse people, because that's the world we live in, and I want to make sure that I am inclusive of that. So I feel like I've done an okay job in the past few years and especially in the last 2 years, like my eyes have really been open to the fact that we don't have enough diversity and that there always needs to be more. But yeah, I think I've done an okay job in the past, but it hasn't actually been a priority officially for me. So just like making that a priority. And then my last goal is to read at least 5 books from my Black Lives Matter list that are nonfiction. So in like June and July and May, I think it was the end of May, and then yeah, June and July, when everything was hitting the fan as far as that kind of thing, I wrote down every single book recommendation that I saw. Like, I'm not kidding, I think 200 at least books written down on just like sheets of paper. I was writing down books, I was writing down documentaries, I was writing down podcasts, I was writing down everything that we could. And I haven't really like gone into that as much. So the reason that I only have 5 books as this specific goal is because I don't read a lot of nonfiction. And so I don't want to make a goal that's too overwhelming for myself that, again, it starts to feel like a chore. Because for me, reading is about escapism, which is why I love fantasy books, because it's the perfect form of escapism for me. So reading nonfiction, it's a different type of reading. I've been talking with my roommate about this a lot too, where like reading fiction is just a different kind of reading than reading nonfiction is. You can't just like fly through nonfiction books because you actually have to like stop and take the time to like think through, okay, what does this mean? How does this impact me? Versus like fantasy book, you can still take your time with it, but it's just different, okay? So for me, like 5 books is an achievable goal that I can work towards and have it not feel like, oh, it's a chore, so I need to like make this happen somehow, and then not actually want to do it, because I do want to make sure that I'm continuing to learn and grow from these experiences and learn about other cultures and like how American systems like don't work for people who don't look like me. So that is that last goals. Those are my goals. So now I'm going to talk about quickly how I'm going to achieve them, which is just my normal 2021 planner. Last year was the first year that I actually had a planner and used it all the way through the year, which I use it for like the first few months and then just kind of forget about it like I do most things. So what I decided to do is every month they have like the calendar pages, which you can't hardly see in there, but they have the calendar pages, and so they also have a page for notes. So I'm going to make sure to write down, okay, you need to read at least 1 owned book or read 1 from your Black Lives Matter list on each of the months, so that it's somewhere where it's like fresh in my mind so I can see these things happen. Some of them, like, I remember, like, the wrap-ups, because I've done it so much, I do remember that goal. But something like read diversely or engage with the community is something I'm going to forget about. So I think, like, having a monthly reminder, even if it's just, like, one part of my planner, I think even the act of writing it down will be more helpful for me. So I'm just going to use my 2021 planner, which this I just got from Hobby Lobby, I believe. So nothing super fancy. It's pretty though, so I like it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do to make sure that I actually like get these goals achieved, is to have them in a more obvious location than just sitting in a Word document on my computer like they normally do. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below, let me know what you guys have as far as like bookish or reading goals for 2021. Are you reading more or less this year than last year? I'd love to know in the comments below. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!